Prince Edward has left Buckingham Palace, and the full story remains a mystery. Did King Charles do something so significant that Edward, often regarded as the calm and steady one in the family, finally had enough? His departure hints at frustration with royal rules and family drama, leading many to question whether this marks the beginning of a larger royal fallout. Edward's unexpected move has caught everyone off guard and could potentially shake up the monarchy. Known for his quiet yet bold nature, Edward has always stood apart from his family, having been born in 1964. Edward grew up in the same luxurious royal bubble as his siblings, but was never quite like them. Charles, destined to be king, has always focused on duty, tradition, and preparing for the throne. Andrew, on the other hand, has often made headlines for reasons the royal family would rather forget. Edward, however, has followed a distinctly different path. He's not the headline-grabbing type like some of his family members, nor is he the quintessential rule-following royal. Instead, he occupies a unique space, standing out as an oddball in the royal lineup. One of Edward's decisions, a quiet yet defiant choice, redefined not only his life, but also the broader perception of what it means to be royal. Unlike his brothers, Edward showed little interest in adhering to traditional royal expectations. He never sought the spotlight or aspired to be the family's golden child. Instead, he seemed determined to pursue what genuinely made him happy, even if it didn't align with the royal mold. His interests spanned academics, theater, and television production paths that might seem ordinary to most people, but were highly unconventional for a royal. This divergence from tradition is what makes Edward so intriguing. He didn't follow the script handed to him, but wrote his own, even if it puzzled others. Edward's ventures into the arts were especially noteworthy. He worked backstage on musicals such as The Phantom of the Opera, setting up props and contributing behind the scenes. Imagine a royal engaging in such work. It's far from the typical image of monarchy. Yet Edward deserves credit for following his passions instead of succumbing to expectations. Still, the royal family likely raised eyebrows, wondering why a royal would choose such an unconventional path. It was a bold, slightly random move, and it was quintessentially Edward. Perhaps most striking was Edward's foray into television. This ambitious chapter of his life stood out starkly from the usual royal narrative. In the 1990, Edward ventured into the world of television production by establishing his own company, Ardent Productions. At first glance, it appeared to be a daring and innovative move for a member of the royal family, a break from tradition that highlighted his willingness to forge a unique path. While most royals were content with ceremonial duties such as waving to crowds, attending charity events, and unveiling plaques, Edward sought to leave his mark in a more creative and unconventional way. Unfortunately, the reality didn't align with the dream. Ardent Productions struggled to gain a foothold in the highly competitive television industry. The shows it produced were met with lukewarm receptions at best, with critics dismissing them as uninspired and lacking the polish needed to stand out. The media, ever eager to highlight royal missteps, seized on the company's failings, turning Edward's endeavor into a cautionary tale of overreach. Headlines gleefully chronicled every stumble, and the venture quickly became a subject of public mockery. This was a painful period for Edward, who had genuinely hoped to succeed on his own terms. Watching his efforts falter under the weight of criticism and scrutiny must have been disheartening. Yet there was something admirable about his willingness to take such a risk. Most royals might have been content to remain within the comfortable confines of tradition, avoiding the kind of public scrutiny that comes with creative pursuits. Edward's attempt, however flawed, was a testament to his desire to be more than just a ceremonial figure. Earlier in his life, during his 20s, Edward also ventured into the military. He gave the Royal Marines a try, but it didn't take long for him to realize that it wasn't for him. After enduring a few months of grueling training, he decided to walk away. This decision reportedly left his father, Prince Philip, a staunch military man, fuming. It wasn't exactly a proud family moment. Imagine a strict, disciplined parent finding out you quit something as rigorous as the Marines. The press had a field day, labeling Edward as soft and claiming he couldn't cut it. While the criticism was harsh, it perhaps overlooked the bigger picture. Edward recognized early on that military life wasn't for him. Instead of sticking it out to satisfy others' expectations, he made the tough choice to leave. It was a bold move, one that demonstrated his commitment to following his instincts rather than conforming to a predefined role. This decision, as controversial as it was, set the tone for his life. Edward has consistently played by his own rules, even if it has meant disappointing a few people or enduring public backlash, an approach that in its own way is admirable. Today, Edward has kept a relatively low profile compared to the rest of the royal family. He has focused on meaningful efforts such as supporting his father's Duke of Edinburgh's award and contributing to various charitable initiatives. Despite their ups and downs, his journey reflects a willingness to chart his own course, even in the face of challenges and criticism. Edward has been married to Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, for many years, and they appear to be a solid drama-free couple, quietly going about their lives.